Hello, and welcome to the second section of the Go Projects video course, creating a simple website with a static file server. In the previous section, we covered how to set up Go on your computer. Let's start by building a simple real-world application with Go, a static file server. If you've ever used the command python-m simple HTTP server to serve some static assets, then you're already familiar with what we'll be building. In this section, we'll cover 3 topics and introduce 3 packages from the Go standard library. Those topics are creating a simple static file server, accepting command line arguments, and compiling your code. We'll create a simple but powerful static file server with the help of the net HTTP package and the OS package from Go's standard library. As you might be guessing, the net HTTP package is used for network input-output, including HTTP. The OS package is an interface to the operating system functionality, and although the design is Unix-like, it actually works on any platform. In this video, we're going to take a look at structuring our code, including how to declare a package, how to import packages, and how to write a main function, assigning values to variables and the concept of multiple returns that Go has, and using the packages that we mentioned earlier. Let's get started. Begin by creating a new directory called fs, short for file server. Once created, change into that directory and create a file named fs.go. Once that file has been created, open the file in your favorite text editor. I'll be using Sublime Text for the series, but Visual Studio Code, Vim, Atom, and even Emacs all have excellent support for Go. We'll start with our package statement. Since any executable code must have the package name main, that's what we'll use here. The next thing we need to do is import the packages we'll use. We need both net HTTP and OS, so let's import those. If you have a text editor that links your code in real time, you might be seeing an error right now, saying that these packages are imported but not used. That's because in Go, an imported but unused package is actually an error. Don't worry though, we're about to use both of these packages. Since our package is going to be executable, we'll need a main function. This is the main entry point to our program. In order to serve the static content in the current directory, we need to find out which directory we're actually in. To do that, we'll use the getWD function from the OS package. This is very similar to the Unix command pwd, standing for print working directory. You'll see that this function returns 2 values, a string and an error. In Go, it's very common to return multiple values from a function. You'll see that we can assign 2 variables by separating them with a comma. You also might be wondering why there's an underscore after the comma. That's because we don't care about the error in this case, so we can ignore it by placing that underscore instead of a variable name. Don't worry about this too much though. We'll be covering how to handle errors later. Now that we have the name of the current directory, we need to serve all the static files within that directory. Go's HTTP package has 3 functions that make this extremely simple. In short, we're saying, listen and serve HTTP on this port, with the content coming from a file server serving the contents of this directory. The documentation for Go is actually really good, and I highly recommend you to check out the docs for these 3 functions. Your text editor probably has a way to open the Go documentation for the function under your cursor, so I really recommend doing that for any functions you're unfamiliar with throughout the course. Once we have saved this file, go back to the terminal and type go run fs.go. Your server will start, and you can open your browser to http:/localhost3000. You'll see a link to the Go file that we just worked on. If you click on it, you can actually see the Go code that we just wrote. To stop your server, just type Ctrl+C in your terminal. In this video, we'll learn how to make a simple static file server with just 11 lines of code. In the next video, we'll use Go's flag package to accept command line arguments.